I thought the energy was there. Honestly, I was listening to the corner.
Excuse me, guys. Sean needs his chief.
My dad's telling me we're going our way, and to keep pumping the jab, keep moving, and don't let him touch me. You know, and I think in trying to establish and execute that game plan, we stuck with it because it was what was working, and ultimately what my dad knew would get the victory tonight.
Your legs are always a part of how you fight. But
yeah.
Tonight, were you on the outside a little more often than we used to see?
Well, because he's got to set up, and we studied Ugas. We knew that if I wasn't standing in front of him, he would have to, move his feet and think. So we wanted to use the feet. I think maybe if anything, I wasn't strategic enough with my feet. And what I mean by that is there's certain moves that I can do and pull off and get a guy to open up, and I didn't do that enough. But I got no complaints with this fight tonight. I think if anything, I just need to go and take a look at it and where the small areas were that I didn't either execute something that my dad was asking me to execute in the corner, or something that I could have capitalized on that I let go of. So
how much did the temperature impact you today?
Temperature was not a problem at all. Corner said, we're going to take these 2 blankets out with us and we're going to cover you up during the rounds. I said, listen, when I warm up during the fight, I think I'm good. They said, just listen to us. If we need to move anything like that, we'll move it, but this is what we're going to do. And we kept it on for 12 rounds. We stayed hot, we stayed moist, and we stayed ready.
Right before the cards were announced, did you feel comfortable that the fight was yours?
I did. When I heard it was a split decision. Recently, I've been hearing a split decision, and then it's called a split draw. I did not want to draw. I wanted to keep this belt unanimously, even though it was split. That still works for me.
Can you talk about the knockdown / knockdown?
Yeah, man. I slipped. I don't remember if he hit me. I know he threw a punch. I don't know if he hit me on the shoulder or what, but I slipped, and when I slipped, I was like, that was a slip, and then the next thought was, uh-oh. And then Jack Reese said it was a slip, and I said, thank you, Jack, because that was a slip, and I got up, and I just wanted to jump to let everyone know, if you thought, something bad went down with Shawn Porter, it did not go down. I felt great the entire fight, and that was just one moment where I took a step, and the flooring wasn't right for me at that moment. But I got up off of that and continued to fight.
When you said, did you say that because you felt did you feel the fight was close, or did you feel you were comfortable winning? How did you feel?
We felt comfortable, and I'm never gonna not listen to my dad. And there were just a couple rounds where I was like, what's going on? And he felt comfortable. He felt like we were winning the fight, doing what I was doing, and he wanted me to continue that. So.
Do you feel like your timing might have been a little off?
I think at points, I don't know if I allowed him to. He started to counter me, probably halfway through the fight, a little more than halfway through the fight, maybe around 7 or 8. He started to counter me, and I picked up on it, and I started making the right move for it. But then I wasn't capitalizing after that, So, and that's how boxing is. Boxing's like that, and so it was my fault for not going back to that immediate snap, So I think that there were a few points in the fight where I could have changed things a little bit more. But again, we did what we thought we needed to do to win.
Were you frustrated this fight? Game plan for
no, not frustrated at all.
What was the game plan for
The game plan tonight was to do what we were doing the entire fight. But the game plan was to use the foot movement, use the hand speed, set up the power, turn him onto the corners and the ropes. And my dad it got to the point where he thought the jab was elusive enough. He thought the foot speed was good enough and the movement was good enough. He says, we don't need to force anything. And it wasn't a matter of my dad wanting to be safe. It was a matter of him wanting to take the chance when the chance was there. And I think my dad is smart enough to know that he didn't feel the need to take any chances and do any more than we were doing. And he told me that. He said, I don't think you did everything you needed to do to me. I don't think you need to do any more. So.
I don't know if you saw it, but Spence retweeted a video where you guys were very happy that you made weight.
Yeah.
And he said, y'all act like
I heard that.
The fight itself.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, and then confronting him on March 16th?
I'll be in Dallas. I'll be down there. Yeah.
Sean, do you feel like for a unification you could go to another level, or what you had tonight would be enough to win a big fight?
Nope, got to go to another level. Got to go to another level, and I think we have been able to do that for a long time. We've been able to improve. I can't tell you how long it's been. We've been, fight after fight improving, but I do know we've taken steps up every fight. I think if you're gonna fight Errol Spence, a fight like that has to be a little bit. You got to dig down a little bit deeper, be a little bit more precise, and go for it a little bit more. I don't think just moving against Errol Spence is the way you fight him. Keith Thurman. I think you got to mix some of that in with Keith Thurman. Keith likes to move. He likes to play. He likes to play that cat and mouse and catch me if you can and catch up once I get ahead type of stuff. So, what we did tonight, I think if anything was just was what we had to do against Yordenis Ugas. I think it answered some questions for us in terms of conditioning, in terms of doing something after weight loss and all that kind of stuff. None of that was in our minds at all. And when we get in the ring, we're solid rock. So,
to demand the rematch, would you give it to him?
Yordenis? No, sir. No, sir. Go for it, sir.
You mentioned that you had to do this with Yordenis Ugas. Was this style complicated? Was it awkward for you adapting to it? I know his height, his reach.
No, I told someone. I told my coach, my assistant coach, strength and conditioning, Larry Way. I told him, if I can get this guy to put his hands down, if I can get this guy to kind of get out of himself, then I think I'll be in his head and I'll be able to get this done. And he came out the gate like that. He came out the gate. I don't know if he was trying to psych himself up. I know he was really pumped up for the fight, but the hands were down. He's shaking out and all that kind of stuff. And that's not the typical Yordenis Ugas we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing hands up the entire fight, and I'm coming after you. And I think at one way or another, I think that, him knowing what I could do, I think he came out and might have kind of psyched himself out a little bit because he was expecting me to be a little bit more flashy, and I think he was, trying to keep up with that. And I think the jab was really, really effective this fight.
Do you feel that you separated from himself, like your level above him, and that's why you won't give him the rematch, or how do you feel about the performance overall?
I don't want a rematch with Yordenis because I am looking at Errol Spence, I am looking at Manny Pacquiao, and I am looking at Keith Thurman. Obviously, if this fight didn't go our way, then those plans will be spoiled, and I will have to revisit that lane. But we got this win. I personally think we got it decisively. Anybody that is disappointed because they didn't see me throw 100 punches around, disappointed because they didn't see me going after Yordenis like I went after Keith Thurman or Danny Garcia or Paulie Malignaggi, anything like that. And hey, you're sore about it, but you can't fight every fight the same, and that's what we did. We made some adjustments and we stuck with our adjustments.
Talk about the cut.
You want to say to people who watched the fight and doubt that you won the fight?
I don't think there's anything I can do to convince anyone out there that I won the fight. I don't think it was a champion decision. I don't think it was a favorable decision because I have the bigger name or anything like that at all. I think that this was a fair shake. I think that Yordenis did a terrific job coming into the way he did. And if you think you feel let down, just wait on the next one. Just wait on the next one.
These mandatory titles, are they sometimes trap fights because you're maybe not as able to get as excited or motivated?
No, I wasn't not excited or anything like that at all against Yordenis. Yeah, I can hear him in the other room. His team's cheering for him and rooting him on and all that. And the only thing I kept reminding myself is that not every team's the same. Not everyone gets prepared the same, acts the same, acts out the same, anything like that. So while they're hooping and hollering, I stayed to myself, stayed in my concentration, focus mode, and I went out there and did what I had to do. I think I was focused during the fight and listening to my corner, and I think it played out the way we needed it to play out. I don't think there was anything. My weight, me not making weight the first time, is not a reflection of how I measured out Yordenis Ugas. I did not take him lightly at all, and it was just a situation where I wasn't on point, on time, and I had to do a little bit more.
How do you feel to still have the W?
I didn't want to hear was split draw. Even that wouldn't have meant I would have kept the belt, but then you would have all this discrepancies about who won the fight. I think I won the fight hands down. You know, I'm gonna say what every fighter says. Take a look at it, and you know, yeah. I do. I'm gonna take a look at it, but I want to improve from it, like I do with every fight. But I think, especially me and my dad are gonna take a look at this and see, you know, try to see what the judges were seeing. For me, my perspective when I watch myself, I try to look at it outside of myself and what could have caught the judges' eyes, what would have made them think or feel or whatever. So we'll see.
Do you expect to, weight-wise, in your next fight, do you think you'll have any kind of issues about
No,
that?
sir. No, sir. This was, it was a timing thing, man. I messed up my timing.
What in particular,
And,
like what timing, how, like?
You know, it's hard to say because if you don't do what I do, if you don't know my program and my protocol, then it's hard to. Yeah, but the protocol started a little late, and that was on my behalf. I think, if anything, I might have maybe just underestimated my time compared to my protocol. It's out the way, man. You know, the best thing about it is I went in there, I obviously gave a valiant effort, and I don't think anyone could see that I gassed out or anything like that. There's no excuses or anything like that at all. So.
Fight's over now.
Yes, sir.
Deep pool at the welterweight division. Fights that can be made for you. Which fights are you looking to get to next?
3. Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman. No particular order. I think all those are fantastic fights for me, and I look forward to any of those 3 next.
Which one do you feel strongest in?
Maybe Keith, because he's been out a little while. Manny's, you know, he's a little older, so he's on the back end. I've been in the ring with him, so he really knows what I got. Errol Spence, you know, he's only got 24 fights. I didn't even realize that until today. So maybe a experience factor right there, you know. So every fight you got to take a look at, and you know, I obviously will follow the direction of my dad and the rest of you know, my management team and all that kind of stuff. And we just, you know, I've said it before. If you guys haven't heard, my goal from here out is to win every fight until I retire. And I'm not taking anyone lightly. I can't. And I'm here to do this as long as I can and be on top as long as I can.
I have to throw it out there. Where does Crawford fall in line? You potentially fighting him, or just overall?
Myself and Terrence. You know, if that fight is made, it's gonna be made because myself and Terrence want that fight made. You know, I'm not calling him out. I respect him. I'm not afraid of him. But I will tell you that he is definitely overlooked in the welterweight division, and definitely one of the best fighters out there in the world.
What do you think about this fight against Colin?
I think it's going to be a competitive fight for a couple rounds, and I think Terrence is going to take over. Honestly, man, I'm a fan of Terrence, and I'm not, you know, not kissing his butt or anything like that. I'm just keeping it real. We've known each other for a while, yada, yada, yada. But when you watch the dude fight, he really is something special. And, you know, it's only a matter of time before he gets a fair shake in this boxing game. I think he's overlooked, underrated, and, you know, I'm looking forward to that fight. And, you know, any fight he has, again, if him and I fight, it's because him and I decide to fight. Nobody's going to force him and I to fight.
Would he be a tougher fight than Spence?
I don't know. Those are two different styles. I got to get ready for either style. I know what I'm capable of. And so it's hard to say which fight will be tougher. You got to get ready for each one.
Lastly, Sean, where did Ugas rank tonight in toughest fight?
Ugas is just that. He's tough. And honestly, I've respected him for a long time. I respect Louis DeCubas and his entire team. I know he's been waiting on this opportunity for a long time. And I hope he does not give up and he decides to go a different direction and tries to get another belt. I believe in him. I believe he can do it. And trust me, it just wasn't happening here tonight. Yeah. God bless you guys, man. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.